Hey everybody, it's AlleeCat. Guess who recorded with the wrong mic again? This time I didn't fix it for the whole episode, so enjoy my shitty laptop mic.
So I'm gonna say three, two, one, clap, and we clap. All right, three, two, one. Uh,
I didn't know when we were going.
okay, let's try it again. Three, two, one.
Awesome.
Okay. Hey everybody, welcome to Allee's Anime Club. I'm Allee. Joining me as usual is my co-host Chris,
The mysterious Chris.
and today's guest is Arrow,
Hi.
Twitch streamer.
Well, not really.
Oh, that's modest. Come on now.
uh, yeah. So we this time we watched the first 6 episodes of Heavenly Delusion.
I'm gonna be honest right off the bat. I completely forgot about all the sexual stuff in this.
That's fair. I do that all the time, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't remember a whole lot. I remembered the plot points, I guess, but I didn't remember most of the other stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It kind of reminds me of some like old school stuff, like I don't know. NGE has some weird sexual stuff in it too.
Some of it was very coming of age type stuff.
Yeah. I think it's part of it's kind of interesting, like the kids in the complex who aren't taught anything about like sex or kissing or anything, and they still end up doing it because they're human beings.
It's interesting. We didn't teach them anything, but they figured it out.
Weird.
Wow,
We
it's
didn't teach them to
almost
be
like
gay.
it's almost like this stuff is natural and happens whether or not you teach them.
Some major scientist brain going on in there.
Yeah. Um yeah, I also like I like that the show doesn't um like say that being gay is unnatural, and in fact does the opposite.
Yeah.
Because they just like do it on their own.
Yep.
Although when Haruko said, "Oh, I've got the brain of a man," I thought it was going to be more of a trans thing than like actually having the brain of a man.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this is cool. This must be why we're watching this.
So honestly, yeah, that whole thing threw me off too. I was just, oh man, so this would be my second time through, but even this time, I'm knowing ahead of time, I'm still like, it's such a weird curveball to throw. Like, oh, you literally, okay,
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
okay. You
I guess that's one way to do it.
It's like
Oh.
I was like I
actually gotten to talk to my partner about this yet, but I was gonna describe it like they're not trans. They're like Lightning McQueen trans. Do you know like the cut Lightning McQueen story where like they transplanted all his parts inside of a different car?
Oh.
Yeah, that's like a real thing.
That's amazing.
I did not know that.
I didn't know about that either. That's great.
Oh.
It provides. It is an interesting look at it. Like,
yeah.
How old was the brother? Because the
know.
brother got put in the sister's body. The sister. Well, he says he's like 20 or something, or when ask later.
So he says first, like, oh, I'm 17, no, 20, because like he's going off of like, oh, I'm 17, and then he realizes, oh, but my sister was older than me, so because he technically his body would be 20 years old.
Yeah.
I
want to say another thing is that another thing I forgot was that the fight scenes are actually, I think they're pretty damn good. They're pretty phenomenal. There's a lot of animation put into these.
Oh yeah, the production value seemed pretty nice.
Like, yeah. Also, the animation style reminds me a lot of Akira.
I need to watch that.
And I like that. The content reminds me a bit of Akira as well.
Yeah. Scientist gone mad. I didn't finish watching Akira, but I know enough about it to know I know the
people being absorbed by weird flesh masses.
Yeah.
Yep. I know. Once again, that's another thing where I'm like, I got the general plot points down.
Yeah. And then also in in episode 6, there's a weird child with a big head.
Oh yeah,
that's also in Akira.
Like, the alien person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the
weird floating child with a big head.
And initially, I thought that was I don't remember the character. I mean, I do when I saw them, but for some reason I got double surprised again. Where I said, "Oh, is it the person that hung themselves or whatever from earlier?" And then when they show that, I'm like, "Okay, now I don't know," because I don't think they ever actually show the person who
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be Tomoe, the kid who died, the sick kid.
That's a possibility.
But I don't know. But it was all a dream anyway.
Yeah.
Also, they haven't explained too much about how all the kids have powers.
Yeah, they've all got their little thing going on, like gecko hands or intuition.
Yeah, the frog girl, I don't remember her name.
Cuckoo? Right?
Cuckoo? Yeah, Cuckoo.
Yeah.
Her face is very frog-like, like Japanese frog-like.
Little three mouth.
Yeah. For some reason, when you have a character who has frog characteristics in an anime, their mouth is always drawn like that. I've noticed a trend because I also watched My Hero Academia, and the frog girl in that one also is drawn similarly. But yeah, she's supposed to be a frog, I think.
No, that makes sense. Like, she definitely feels like that's what she's depicted like, or whatever. But
also, they found those straight up. I don't want to call them monster babies, but they had the same symbols.
They are kind of monster babies.
Yeah. Kinda.
I mean, I think that implies that the complex is breeding these man-eaters.
I thought it implied more that like they were like some sort of like that's what like children were, but I'm not really sure.
I mean, the whole thing kind of gives me like Fallout vibes, like Voltec stuff
Right.
going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could be some sort of hybrid as well, I guess. But maybe they do the outside monsters.
Or I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe one came first. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
They got that. I think it was the last episode mentioned the immortal order or whatever,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and like people being made to live forever, and you needing like man-eater parts or living man-eater to do it or something.
Right.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if it's
'Cause-
parts
'cause
or
they
a whole
said-
man-eater.
Well, they said he said that they graft man-eater parts onto people and then they live forever.
Is it? Do we think that? Because we learned that they absorb people when that hotel lady freaked out about them trying to kill the one that had the whips.
Yeah.
Right.
Which, by the way, awesome creature design there. I love that thing.
Yeah. Also, I saw her death coming a mile away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's so many flags.
It's like, oh, okay, the grieving parent that can't let go. All right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. There is an implication that the man-eaters are probably like part human at least. Especially in this last episode, because Maru can reach inside of people,
Yeah.
and we just found that out.
That episode was a trip.
Yeah.
Gotta say, playing a normal bear for it's a monster. I can just reach inside and kill it, and then going, oh shoot, it's just a bear.
It's just a normal bear.
We're gonna run.
Speaking of Fallout vibes, fucking Yao Guai.
Oh yeah.
It looks like a Yao Guai.
Just had some of its fur singed off.
Mhm.
Poor bear.
Just wanted that 100% clean water.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it's got a dead body in it now, so it's a little less than 100%.
Not really clean. Yeah, they started like wading through the water. I was like, that's how you get trench foot. You're gonna get trench foot.
I mean,
They did take their shoes and socks off to dry later, so
yeah, and the one was,
I guess it's
yeah,
fine.
the one was yelling about bacteria and stuff too. So
Yeah.
at least one of them was aware. Also, go-kart racing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like that's such an interesting thing to be doing like after an apocalypse or an apocalypse-like event, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very outside the norm for what I think of when it comes to like post-apocalyptic cities.
Yeah. Specifically like post-apocalyptic sports.
Heck, I don't
Yeah.
think I think of those at all, really.
No.
Maybe like shooting competitions, I guess.
It's usually blood sport.
Yeah, that you know
Yeah.
what that is normally what it is.
It's usually fighting arenas and that kind of thing.
And, like you have to have like disposable stuff anyway just to do anything like that. Which is kind of
Right.
I guess it's kind of nice to see a take on post-apocalypse that isn't entirely dour and gloom and everyone wants to kill each other.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's still a lot of that, but I do like the fact that, like, yeah, people rebuilt a society pretty damn quickly. Because that's what people do.
Yeah, throughout all time.
Unlike in, like, Fallout, where everybody's still just living in, like, scrap metal shacks 200 years after the bombs fall.
I found some cans of beans somehow.
Wow! Instead of like what we see in this show, where like people are actually like growing things and trading and like
Yeah, tomato
living
heaven
in a
was cool.
city. Yeah.
Also, the fact that they used literal weed later from tomato
Yeah.
heaven to. I gotta wonder now, after realizing how much weed there was on that boat, if half of those
Uh-huh.
tomato plants, because a lot of times people are like, oh, they're air quotes tomato plants. How much of it's
Oh yeah.
weed?
Well, because you can graft weed onto tomato plants and grow weed tomato plants.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's possible.
Honestly, that's the best use of weed I've seen in any show. Let's dry out a goopy shark monster with a whole bunch of sticky weed.
Yeah. That was a twist I was not expecting.
No. There's that big thing where they're trying to figure out where the gun's from because they think that's from heaven.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Does heaven? Because I don't remember because I didn't look at it for some reason. I didn't think to at the
Mhm.
time. Does it have that symbol anywhere?
I haven't noticed it anywhere. I haven't like
Yeah,
especially
and
been looking, but
Huh. Maybe there's some other high tech place that's got friggin' laser pistols.
yeah,
Maybe.
when that worked the first time was pretty funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're like, that's not a real gun.
To be fair, it sure doesn't look like one.
Yeah.
I also wouldn't have expected laser gun to be like Gundam level super laser.
Yeah.
gun.
yeah. Melt through a ton of concrete or whatever.
Yeah, two
Yeah.
shots take down a big concrete pillar. And I also love that they very very quickly put on this little tag of, oh yeah, well it works, but it works 3 times, sometimes 4, and that way we can't use it to solve every single problem we have.
Right. You gotta put limits on that shit.
Yeah. Overall, I've liked their interactions in general with people that just tried to cause them problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And learning the backstories and stuff is nice too.
Hmm. You know, I was thinking in episode 6, um, the the woman who's like trying to sleep with Maru,
Hmm.
uh, I was I was like, if you're so worried about keeping the beds clean, why are you trying to have sex with him in the bed that you're trying to keep clean?
You know, I did kind of notice that too. That was a thought that came to mind. I was like, just this bit.
Yeah.
That's the dirty bed.
That's the bed that we do all the sex in. That's the sex bed.
That girl is, she's getting her money, I guess.
Yeah.
The Hotel King.
I love that bit afterwards though, where she's just like, "Yep, I'm gonna make a ton of money getting all these people in these rooms, and then I'm gonna have sex with the ones that aren't total creeps, and I'm gonna make a ton of money, open more hotels, and I'm gonna get it, money, Hotel King."
Yeah. Hey, I mean, you know, it's a job. It's work.
One of the oldest professions, plus being a hotel owner.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, that's something that has historically gone hand in hand as well.
Yeah. What'd you think of it, Arrow?
I mean, I was overall like pretty interested by it. I liked most of the interactions. That last episode was like, what? It was like the most like iffy to me, but like
Yeah.
there's enough like questions and stuff. I'll probably finish it out, just see what it's like. I don't know. I don't dislike it. It's got its cool stuff going on.
Yeah, it's sometimes like some of it kind of feels like, oh, this is mature just to be mature,
Yeah.
and it's not like it's not really saying anything interesting.
Yeah, there's a bit of that.
But like a lot of it still does feel like normal. I don't know, like realistic, I guess.
Yeah, and it's like nice seeing that relationship like develop between the two or stuff like that, or
Hmm.
just I don't know. There are some like nice things about it, even if I like the way he approached Haruki in like bed or
Hmm.
Hiroko, sorry, was just like really fucking
Yeah.
yeah intense
Yeah.
out of nowhere. Like holy shit.
It's like, damn, bud. That's not how this was
Yeah.
supposed to go normally anyway.
Yeah, no. He keeps and he did something similar in episode 2 where he was also like forcing himself on him
Oh
and like dude, boundaries.
yeah.
Got some character flaws there.
Yeah. I mean, it does seem like he grew up with some not great um like authority figures. So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Maybe they'll develop as time goes on. I can't remember.
Maybe.
But
I also
go ahead.
okay. This is completely like aside, honestly, but like
Hmm.
I also want to know what exactly is going on with like his little ability and like if it's supposed to be a thing that like can like he can do to anyone or if it's just like I don't know, maybe there's something else going on there. I don't know. It's just weird
Yeah,
because like he's
maybe.
got to have touched other people like in a similar manner, but maybe there's an intentionality to it that like we don't really know.
Yeah. Well, or it could also be like he has to touch skin in a certain part of
Oh,
the
maybe
body or
yeah.
something like that. Yeah. Again, we don't really know.
No,
Well, like he did say he had to be taught to use it.
that's true. That's true.
So yeah, it might also be like, oh, like he has to there has to be some kind of like intention to it, and he like did it without thinking
Mm.
that one.
Got spooked.
Yeah.
Maybe that's part of it.
Spooked by boobs.
They're scary.
When I'm doing it, it's okay. When they're coming on to me, that's fucking terrifying. Oh no. I'm going through my head a bit here too, and I'm trying to remember different pieces. I had something I was gonna say, but I've since forgotten it.
I like that the kids in the complex like use the little Roomba things
Yeah.
that stick to the walls
Also, how
to
the
like
fuck did
climb
that
up the
kid live?
walls. Yeah. He fell he fell like fucking 30 feet onto his face.
Yeah, like slammed like flat onto the ground. It was presumably dirt, right? Like,
They do have superpowers.
yeah, I guess maybe his is that he can live.
Yeah.
Durable.
He's just very durable.
You know, that's one thing we haven't focused a ton on, I guess, is the kids in that
Yeah.
whatever that place is.
Right.
The old lady in the wheelchair running it.
So actually, do you think it's the old lady, or do you think it's like the fucking computer? Because honestly, I'm starting to lean towards the computer after these last couple episodes.
It
The-
it does have a certain way of speaking that kind of makes me go, okay, this thing's got a little more thought to it than just like the
Yeah.
computer
Yeah.
on a starship in Star Trek or something.
Yeah. I mean, it does seem like the old lady is running the place, but
Mm.
maybe the AI put her there.
The alarm thing did go off, and then it was more a distraction than it was actually an alarm to where the kids
Well,
were.
So the like the cameras weren't showing Tokyo, and so what I'm thinking is that Tokyo uh, can like be
Ooh,
invisible to cameras or something when
that might make
like digital
sense.
blindness.
Cause like there was that whole thing when like they climbed into the wall vent, right? That
Yeah,
yeah,
and the cameras couldn't see that either.
yeah.
So like he might be unconsciously like affecting the cameras.
Hmm.
And that's why when the alarm went off, they were like, "What's going on? We don't see any intruders or anything."
I've always been a big fan of foreshadowing too, and
Uh
there's
huh.
not a ton of it I think in this show, but I did like the effort they put in to have them put a footprint on the wall.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's gonna get uh, paid off very soon because we had the scientist looking at his boots
Yep.
in this episode, the last episode.
They do such a good job at portraying kids as kids just with the shit they're doing outside and stuff.
Yeah,
I gotta throw the boulder.
I want to throw the boulder.
That the
Tomo could throw the boulder.
yeah. Oh my god! When they panned to where the boulder was thrown to, I was like, "Holy crap!"
Super immune and super strong.
Oh yeah, the whole thing they're trying to make them all like immune to all diseases, and then they're like, "Well, how the heck do you get a
Well,
disease?"
they specifically made Tomo immune to disease,
Oh, not all of
to
them,
all
just them.
disease. Yeah, they were talking about like,
Oh,
oh, this one was immune to all disease, and yet he still got a disease.
Tara. Oh,
Taro?
yeah.
Okay,
They got some.
I called him Tomo.
That's fine.
They got different names in this one.
Also, apparently, I'm like looking through like wiki synopsises of these like episodes that we
Mhm.
watched, but like apparently Tokyo's a girl.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I did not know that.
I didn't think that was the case either.
Hard to tell.
Yeah.
They never use pronouns
Yeah, they just
to
said
talk
Tokyo.
about her. Yeah,
They do that. Yeah. Maybe that's intentional.
so so I didn't know
Yeah, no, I
because
had no idea either until I read through this.
because she's a little kid, so there's not as much
No defining
Yeah.
like
features or anything.
yeah
Yeah, and she's got like a very like whatever haircut or whatever. She doesn't present
yeah
very much like anything.
very unisex haircut.
Yeah.
Hmm. Maybe if I knew more about
Oh.
Japanese names typical to whatever gender, I
Oh yeah, I don't
Mhm.
know.
yeah. These are a lot of different Japanese names that I am not familiar with
Oh yeah,
versus,
So
a lot of shows.
yeah. Maru's whole thing is that like he's going to heaven to give apparently Tokyo a shot. Is that right?
yeah.
Okay. Huh. Does this imply that like Maru was a part of heaven or was part of a different thing? I don't know. It seems to
Well,
be
I think he might have been, or
yeah.
he might have been part of like the initial batch
I'm co-
of
I'm
kids.
connecting a few dots here, and Maru said that he grew up as with a group of parents and kids who all got separated and sent to different places, and that he's supposed to take this shot to a person that looks just like him.
Right.
So, yeah, I think what you said probably bears some weight. They probably were originally together in that group and maybe got separated later or
Mhm.
something.
Right. Or it
Or
could be that he has some kind of special thing because he was born on the day of the apocalypse.
oh, that's right. I forgot about that detail.
I forgot about that as well.
Yeah. He specifically says that he was born the day of the collapse or
We
whatever.
don't even really know anything about the collapse, right? Just like there was like
Yeah.
this theory that they said about maybe things that probably wasn't true about people fighting and causing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they found a newspaper article or something that was talking about a bunch of different warring groups and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah. But apparently nobody really knows what happened. There's just a bunch of theories.
It's pretty wild. Somebody's got to know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems pretty
Well, if
recent.
anybody knows, it's probably the people in the complex.
Yeah. Maybe that. Yeah, you know what? Maybe that the doctor and the other guy that they're looking for, the one that swapped the brains around.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which that's just a weird thing to do casually.
Yeah.
So like the timeline is, oh, we found the sister and her brother that she rescued, but her brother's not doing too well, and then we take them, swap their brains, and then return them. We'll return just the brother and the sister's body. Like,
Yeah, what
Yeah, tell nobody.
like her body was fine, so like what was the
And there was the whole flashback thing about like her walking towards the man-eater.
Yeah.
Or maybe not flashback, but like hallucination or something.
some
Right.
sort of like meaningful vision.
Yeah. Maybe they traded souls or something. I don't know.
It's
That
very
man-eater
interesting.
scene was freaky. That was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that was part of the my thing about being like Akira,
Oh.
yeah,
because that scene felt very Akira.
just slurps him up like spaghetti. So much worse than the whip one. I'm just saying, it's a giant tardigrade.
Yeah, a giant tardigrade that
Yeah.
just kind of like inhales you.
Yeah, probably not
Yeah,
not as much of
it's-
a threat, but definitely less pleasant.
Like the worst thing about it is that it can turn invisible, but it doesn't do that
yeah,
most of the time.
It also just like was like, it just like was tired, I guess, of like fighting, right? Like it just walked
Yeah.
off afterwards.
Yeah.
big lazy bear. Had a snack. Good. Okay, bye.
Yeah, I ate half a kid. It's fine. I'm not hungry
I'm
anymore.
trying to watch my weight. Yeah, definitely scariest thing that thing could do is pretty much just turn invisible because you don't know where it's
Yeah.
going to show up. But otherwise, if those things could be hurt by guns, it'd be pretty easy to deal with.
Yeah. Also, like, he didn't really have to attack it after that. Because as long as it was visible, like,
Could just ran.
they would, yeah, they would have just seen it and turned around and left.
Thing took a go-kart to the back of the head.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for the fact that it was slurping up people like spaghetti, it'd be kind of cute.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it did slurp up someone like spaghetti.
Couldn't have held his arms out or something. Come on.
And I guess we don't know anything about was it whoever took care of Mario, the lady who died, who
Oh,
taught
yeah.
him how to like do the touch thing.
We don't know anything about her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't she also have the gun, or is that somebody else I'm thinking of?
Yes,
Yes.
she had the gun.
So how did what was it Haruhi? Is that right?
No, it's Kiruko.
Kiriko. What am I remembering from?
I don't know. I probably misspoke earlier.
Either way. So how'd they get the gun?
What was it?
So the lady gave it to Kiriko when Kiriko and told Kiriko to protect Maru or whatever when she was
Oh,
dying
right.
or
Yeah,
something.
that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did she have that same black stuff on her like the kid did in the...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I thought so. Wonder if...
Also, something I'm just realizing now. I think she had some resemblance to
Oh,
the
the other sick kid. Yeah.
yeah.
Huh.
So maybe that was a genetic thing.
Wonder if
We
she
don't
left
know.
like behind a little red and black egg.
I wonder.
It might
Yeah,
not
maybe
be an egg, but you know.
maybe she left the thing with Maru at some point. I don't know.
Yeah.
That could be like a plausible thing, even though Maru seems to have grown up with someone else and then come to her.
There's a lot of balls rolling in this anime.
Yeah. I guess that's what it's like when you have like two entirely like separate things that haven't met yet, right?
Clearly connected somehow, but you know. Well, obviously we know one of the connections.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, just a little thing. Haruko uh, is a combination of the name Haruki and Kiriko.
Wait, Haruka. Oh, like the. Wait,
The
I'm
sister and the
confused.
brother's names?
Yeah,
Oh, gotcha.
yeah.
Hmm.
So he's been using a combination of his name and his sister's name, which I think is
Oh, yeah,
funny.
because it was Kiriko and Haruki. Gotcha.
Yeah.
This makes
So
me
he's
question a
Haruko.
little more the whether or not this is originally meant to be a trans situation and they just can't do that because that's not appropriate for Japanese culture, or
I
if
don't think
what's
so.
going on there.
No, there have been. I'm pretty sure there's been trans characters in
I know
anime.
lots of ones that were kind of like, you know, real basic stuff and used as jokes, but I don't know any.
It's not an anime, but there was a live action adaptation of a manga called uh, Alice in Borderland
Oh, I remember hearing about that.
I heard about that too.
that has a trans character in it,
Huh.
like actual trans character played played by a cis woman. By the way, a trans woman played by a cis woman,
Mm.
which is rare. Uh, because normally it'd just be played by a cis dude.
I never thought about casting like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
But yeah, I don't know if the original manga had had the same backstory for that character. Because I never read it. I only watched the show. But she's badass. She knows karate. It's cool.
I guess I don't really know how much more to add to this. I think we covered a lot of it, but I feel like there's got to be something there we're missing. Various monsters, weird sexual tension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The arcade machines still work.
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah, that was neat.
There's lots of places that seem to have like electric power.
Yeah. Well, it seems like it's implied that a lot of places run off of solar power now.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the hotel lady said, "Yeah, you do that before the sun goes down because we don't have batteries or something like that."
Yeah.
Man, that's gonna make nights scarier than normal. It's gonna be terrifying. You
Yeah.
got man eaters out there. You have electricity, so you got comfort during the day, but afterwards you're just like, oh, okay. Guess I'll die. Batteries are super rare,
Yeah.
as was implied. by the hotel lady. Also, what are they using those batteries for? Because the gun takes a different, like, rechargeable battery, right?
Right. Well, flashlights.
Did they have flashlights?
Yeah.
Man, I must have just breezed over that entirely.
Well, like when they go down into the subway tunnel that's full of water, Haruko has a flashlight and he turns it on.
Right. Yeah, that's how they spotted the guy who was still
Right.
alive. Partially.
Yeah.
And Mr. Naked Bear. Partially naked. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else you guys can think of that you noticed or want to compliment on? Or comment on, I mean?
I wish that there were more trans guys in anime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it seems like there's not a lot of rep there.
I mean, yeah, like you get the sensationalized one, which is the trans women, and then like that just sticks like the same way that sticks in the news cycle, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because I really like Haruko as a character, but I wish that like there was more actual trans stuff instead of weird science fiction trans stuff.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I don't know. That's my
You know what
take
would be
on
a
it.
great addition is if they introduced a trans character later who was like, "Oh yeah, I completely get you," or something, and then was like, "Oh, wait a
Yeah.
second, no,
Oh yeah, that'd
maybe
be
not."
cool.
Yeah. That would be nice.
That it'd be nice, and I think it'd be pretty entertaining to see those two interact.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just make for good story. I'm all about good
Yeah.
story.
Anyway, so the final question, do we want to finish out the season or do we want to switch to a different anime? Cuz I'm good with continuing.
Sure.
I want to see. You already know I've been through it once, but once again, don't remember a ton.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to remember.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
Like it's convenient that it's only like another set of 6 or so. I mean 7, I
Yeah.
think, but still, yeah, I like might as well, is my opinion.
Yeah.
It's got enough intrigue there, which I think is the same reason I stuck around the first time, is because I was like, well, I have questions and I'm interested in at least getting an idea of what the answers are. After that
Right.
point, I don't know, but that, this middle spot right here, when you get to this point, it's kind of like, well, it hasn't completely thrown me off yet. The horse is bucking a little bit, but I'll stick with it and see what happens.
Yeah. I think that's kind of why we do it in like 6 episode chunks like this, is because like, if it doesn't catch us after 6 episodes, then like not really worth continuing. But
Yeah.
if it does, then we can like get our first impressions and then see how those like impressions, how our expectations are like lived up to or subverted.
I'm curious to see if it mellows out a bit more after the halfway mark.
I hope so.
I mean, I feel like I don't know, I'd be surprised if that's the case, just because like it's like, usually as things approach their end, they tend not to mellow out, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm thinking more on the like sexual stuff side.
Oh yeah. I mean, I very much appreciate that.
I-
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I would hope.
Less of
But
that.
yeah, less of that, more action scenes
Oh yeah, those are good.
because those are
action
cool.
scenes.
Those are
I'm
good.
not usually into anime for the action scenes, but in this case, they're done really well. They spent the time to actually animate, full kicks and
Yeah.
jumps and stuff.
Also, I feel like I know we're we're supposed to be ending. I feel like there were there was a lot that was like rotoscoped,
Oh, I see.
like mocapped.
Hmm.
Because there's a lot of stuff where like the animation just feels so natural that I'm like, did they like get actual like footage for this, like reference footage?
Kind of
Definitely could have.
like when they were fighting the guys at the beginning, before they fired off the gun for the first time, and he does that flying kick to the guy's face.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
and
even the camera angle on that was kind of like, yeah, this is what it would look like.
yeah, and just like even some quieter scenes, like there was a scene on the boat, I think in episode 3 or something, where Haruko is like talking and doing some gesture, and I was like, this feels like mocap, like this feels like rotoscope,
Hmm.
but I don't know.
Either way, I appreciate the effort put in.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looked very nice.
yeah. But anyway, uh, that's gonna be the end of this episode. Arrow,
Yeah.
where can people find you on the internet?
Mostly just Twitter, but not even there. I don't know. I'm not very active right now.
Okay.
You and me both.
At Arphaedra, ARPHAEDRA.
Yeah, I'll link that in the description.
Yeah.
Um, and Chris is nowhere.
I mean, I'm places, but I have to find the places that I'm going to share, and I have to set up
Yeah.
and maybe care slightly more than I do now.
We're all just under a pile of rocks, huh?
Absolutely. I like my rocks, thank you.
And you already know where I am because this is my channel.
Nope.
All right. No, it's not my channel. It's everyone's channel.
No, I just don't know where your channel is.
All right. So yeah, next time, 2 weeks, we'll finish out Heavenly Delusion.